Let me share with you the agenda. All right, can you just tell me if you can see my screen as well?
Yes.
I can see it well.
Perfect. All right, good morning. Thank you all for joining us today. This is the third CLIMAWEBINAR webinar in our capacity building series. And today we are focusing on the topic of circularity. I will give the floor to Matteo, who is the coordinator of CLIMAWEBINAR, in a minute, and he will introduce the project itself. But just to quickly tell those who are here for the first time, why are we here? Why are we talking about circularity? CLIMAWEBINAR is one of the 3 projects that supports the 100 mission cities. But we also have cities of our own. We have 12 cities working on climate neutrality challenges, deploying solutions, piloting them, improving them, and learning. And the cities are working in 2 hubs, one of which is... I'm going to go ahead and mute you, sorry. So the cities are working in 2 hubs. One is on waste and circularity, and the other one is on mobility. And throughout the project, we're doing capacity building sessions to make sure that cities have a place where to highlight what's happening in their local context, to talk about it, have a discussion, also network. And this is why we're here. And today we're talking about what's happening in the cities in their local context regarding circularity, and how do we connect circularity strategies with climate neutrality. And on the agenda, we have today 4 cities from CLIMAWEBINAR, City of Ioannina, City of Cascais, Torino, and Sofia. And we also have a guest speaker from the City of Guimaraes in Portugal. There will be some moments for Q&A, so if you have a question, use those slots. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask a question. You can also post the questions in the chat and we will bring them up. But a few housekeeping rules for you here. So the webinar will be recorded and we will publish it on the YouTube channel of CLIMAWEBINAR. Please stay muted. We have a lot of participants here. Just for the sake of clarity, let's keep ourselves muted unless we're speaking. And for the questions, use the chat or unmute yourself and ask the question. That's it from my side. I'm going to give the floor now to Matteo to quickly introduce CLIMAWEBINAR, and then we'll move on to hear from the cities.
Good morning. Thanks, Selina. Thanks for the introduction, and thanks everyone for being here, for the partners and the non-partners in particular for being with us. I'll start just with a short introduction. Circularity AI, I think that it was disabled now by Sebastian, but generally speaking, that's not GDPR compliant. Then in our project, we like better to avoid having it for this. In any case, as Elena said, it will be recorded. We will share the slides, then the full content will be available for anyone. Then there is no need of additional recordings or something like that. Anyway, I'll try to give you just a short introduction of the project of CLIMAWEBINAR. Also, just to go, I hope that you see my slides of CLIMAWEBINAR. First, I introduce myself. I'm Matteo Satta. As Elena said, I'm the scientific coordinator of CLIMAWEBINAR. And I represent ANCI Toscana. ANCI Toscana, for the ones that are not Italian, maybe don't know, it's the Association of Cities of Tuscany, then the region of Florence. And then we are very oriented towards cities and supporting cities in exchanging. Now, just to give a really short introduction to avoid making too much time to this webinar, because the core is supposed to be cities presenting themselves and their activities. CLIMAWEBINAR is a project that is enclosed within the mission, climate neutral and smart cities. As you probably know, this is divided, let's say, in 2 strands. The first one is about selecting a number of cities that are more than 100 at the end, or 112, working then on defining their climate strategies with the net zero cities. The other one is selecting some projects that are Horizon Europe projects with particular targets and goals in particular. And then in our case, it's urban planning and design. And we're under the strand, one of the strands of this second part is that. Then we are enclosed there. We are funded by SINEA for the European Commission with about 11 million euros. And let's say that we are 28 partners. That's the particularity of the project is also in its consortium, in the sense that we are somehow divided in two. I tried to create, to showcase this. We have above, you see all the partners that are, let's say, what we call the R&D, IT, or city specialist partners. Then the non-cities partners that then support the cities. Then above you have, if I'm not wrong, around 13 partners, and below you have the cities that are 14. We have 14 cities that are supported, by the way, by two cities agencies that are part of, then for the cities of Maribor and Prijedor, that are also supported by two cities agencies. That means that we have really a big number of cities to support with that number of very high level R&D, city specialists, and IT specialists. If you want, we want to give, just to give a quick overview of the cities that are involved with us. You see in blue the ones that are considered leaders. Then leaders, it just means that they start doing piloting and so on first, and then they will be followed by 4 to 6 cities that are the ones that you see in green. 4 of them, the first 4 are the official followers. The last 2 ones are observers for now, but they could become followers later on. And the difference is that they are associated partners and they are not full partners like the other cities. But anyway, as you see, we have a large number of cities, very diverse from a number of points of view, and we cover a big part of Europe. Now, to go on the concept, the concept starts from saying, okay, we don't lack technology today, but we are a bit unable to deploy it in cities. And why we do that? Because we feel that there are mostly 2 big issues. One, technology is not really connected to behavioral change today. Often we lack that. And then we need to improve and to support cities to be able to involve all their stakeholders to drive this behavioral change. On the other side, we still have a gap between the authorities, I mean the cities, and the market. Then we need to glue better the cities and the market. And somehow then we need to make sure that the cities are able to glue the market and the citizens and the stakeholders that they have locally. This is very important. And then we need also to make sure that the cities can pass their knowledge to other cities, let's say. This is a point that is not indicated here, but is very important. And that's why also we have this kind of activities like today. Now, as Elina already anticipated, we have 2 hubs. One is more on energy and mobility. That's the one that you've seen a month ago. There was another webinar that was on this hub. And today we're more on the waste and circularity one that is led by Energy Cities, that is here today with Elina moderating and coordinating this session. Now, to go, let's say that in these hubs we have leader cities and follower cities. But the leader cities on a hub can follow on the other one. Then we try to make the interaction between cities as big as we can. Let's say that we have 4 main objectives. The one is mostly to have a project that supports cities in defining their own climate strategies. That can be the famous city contracts for the ones in the mission, but similar similar documents or similar strategies defined also in the other cities. And then we want to find also a business model between the private and public sector to work together. And this is also done mostly via an innovative procurement procedure that is, by the way, closing these days. Tomorrow we have the final, we will disclose the awarded winners. And this is, to support this, we need cities to act as a community and act as a community also with their stakeholders. And finally, we want also to support the cities, and this is, let's say, the last point, but could be a circle more than a line, in which we support cities in monitoring the experimental activities that they have on the ground, making sure that they understand how valuable they are and how they can replicate it and scale it later on. Now, and to conclude, and maybe to go on, let's say, on showing you what is a bit the cycle of one city. One city with us, I mean, one city, they act as groups, but let's say that every city, even acting as groups, work on a 5 steps, let's say, 5 steps process. Then they define their challenges, starting from needs. I have a need, but a need is just a need. Then I need to transform it in a challenge, something that can become procured. And then we use an innovative procurement procedure that allows also to better shape the challenges over time and supporting the market to better understand and to refine eventually offers to make sure that the offers match as much as possible the need of the city and the challenge and the need of the city. And then you go through a deployment that will also be based on some sandboxes principles, making sure that all what I'm describing can be then represented and in the city's process. And then obviously, when we have deployed them, we need to evaluate them from a carbon footprint point of view, but not just, because it can be even larger than that. Once done that, at least the successful applications and solutions that will be deployed on the ground will be replicated in other cities. But to do so, there will be a process that, by the way, led by Energy Cities here, in which the mentoring, the leader cities will mentor the follower cities to support them in replicating the full process. And in some cases, now we will see how this will be precisely, because obviously that's something that is ongoing. Now, I concluded. Just last thing is, please follow us on the social media, our website, if you're interested in our project, because we communicate a lot. And also subscribe to our newsletter, because we try to have one per month, also to make sure that you are all well informed about what's happening and to share information and stories from our cities. Then I close here and then let the show really start.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matteo. Perfect introduction. We're going to go ahead and move on with the city presentations, and let's start with Ioannina and Greece. Christina, the floor is yours.
Hello, good morning. Just a second.
Yes, we can see your slides. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Christina Kalogirou, and I serve as the scientific and implementation manager for the CLIMAWEBINAR project within the City of Ioannina. And my presentation today focuses in the actions the city has planned or is currently implementing in the field of waste management and circularity, and within the framework of our journey towards climate neutrality. So we begin with a brief introduction of our city, the geography, the demographic makeup, and the local economy. since I suppose some of our audience may never heard of it. And Ioannina is in the northwest part of Greece, is a city of almost 114,000 inhabitants. It is nestled around the scenic Lake Pamvotida and its island at an elevation of about 500 meters above sea level. And historically, Ioannina has been a melting pot of religious and cultural diversity, prominently featuring Christian, Islamic, and Jewish communities. And the local economy, our local economy, is mainly based in the tertiary sector. However, in the broader area of the city, other activities such as farming, poultry production, food processing, and water bottling industry also play a significant role. And more recently, Ioannina has begun to transform into a tech hub, a notable tech hub. And in the Epirus Science and Technology Park, there are more than 30 national and international companies which are dedicated to crafting cutting-edge technologies and products. Now, about our journey towards climate neutrality. I could say that the first step was taken when the city joined as a signatory into the initiative of the Covenant of Mayors, indicating at least that the city's willingness to play a leading role in climate change mitigation and adaptation. And a few years later, we developed and adopted our Sustainable Energy Action Plan. In 2022, though, the city Ioannina took, let's say, a bold step forward. We joined the European Commission mission about the 100 climate neutral and smart cities, aiming to lead the way in climate neutrality and set an example for others. And in this context, the city has set a number of ambitious goals in a long list of fields, such as energy, mobility, waste and circularity, green infrastructure and nature-based solutions, and built environment. And being part of this mission also meant that we had to set up partnerships to work with other cities, to implement innovative projects, to refine our strategies sometimes, and to update our plans. And working with CLIMAWEBINAR project since 2023, we hope that will provide us the opportunity to enhance our data collection capabilities, to have some useful tools in our hands for monitoring, for reporting, for evaluating the current situation as well as scenarios for the future. And in particular, the city of Ioannina is part of CLIMAWEBINAR's hub from waste to circularity as a leader city, since we have recognized that waste is a key to achieve climate neutrality, and that the shift from waste to resource recovery requires both a mindset and technological change. And more recently, just a couple months ago, our Climate Neutrality Action Plan was approved. Now, with regard to the waste management planning in a city level, we can say that the basic principles and objectives targets are defined by the National Waste Management Plan, while infrastructure, tools, time planning and budget is given by the Regional Waste Management Plan, and which also is a roadmap for the Local Waste Management Plan. And the city of Ioannina has its own local solid waste management plan since 2021, and commits to reduce packaging waste by 70% until 2030, and to limit the municipal solid waste ending in landfills at 10% of the total waste until again 2030. Also, the municipality is mainly responsible to organize and take actions within the first three levels of the waste hierarchy, which are prevention, reuse, recycling. And these specific actions are described, of course, both in the local waste management plan and the climate neutrality action plan. Now, talking about waste management and circularity in our climate neutrality action plan. The municipality of Ioannina, here you can see our changes, our outcomes until the 2030 as we have done them. And the city aims to devise a strategy that influences all the systemic levers of, for example, technology infrastructure, democracy and participation, social innovation, business models, learning and capabilities, and governance and policy. So through, let's say, utilizing all these systemic levers, the city initiates actions that pertain to the overall enhancement of recycling among both citizens and the public service workers, to improve the collection and sorting infrastructure for recyclable materials, to promote the circular economy in key economic sectors of the local community. For example, in the silver jewelry designers and makers, which is a traditional profession of the city, to raise awareness for recycling, for circular economy, integrate new legislation, and of course, to utilize and recycle by waste. And as you can see, most of the actions fall under the technology and infrastructure lever, mainly targeting separate collection of waste, recycling, and reuse. But if being honest, what is more difficult to achieve is changes which are relevant to the other 5 levers, because such as which concern behavioral change, civic participation, business operation, and so on. Okay, here you can see all the actions foreseen in our plan, and with the green highlighting are the ones which are already ongoing and are mostly related to infrastructure and technologies, while the ones with the light blue highlighting are relevant directly or indirectly to the city's challenge, as this is defined in the CLIMAWEBINAR project, and the solutions we expect to receive through the call for tenders, or to put it better, to develop along with the companies providing the solutions, and our citizens, our visitors, and the businesses of the city. And our primary challenge is to gather data and promote citizen engagement and behavioral change, and find a way to push local companies, financial entities of the primary and the tertiary sector to adopt new tools, operation schemes, policies, in order to reduce CO2 emissions due to waste, but not only waste, also because of traffic or other activities in the area surrounding the lake and the island. Now, apart from the CLIMAWEBINAR project, we have some other actions. So the city has already established some partnerships with the private sector to promote schemes and initiatives which contribute to waste prevention and reduction and to raise awareness. And it seems that, for example, in this case, targeting younger children and students, pushing a little bit the playful competitive spirit and offering some rewards may bring results. For example, through the Let's Recycle School Championship, we manage not only to raise awareness and to ensure that these young people will be responsible citizens recycling in a systematic way in the future, but also to collect around 30,000 kilos of recycled materials in 2023. Here is another action, the purple bin. The purple bins are spread around all the neighborhoods of the city to collect clothes and shoes for recycling and reuse. And in 2023, a little less than 300,000 kilos were collected through these purple bins. And the private company which is responsible for the management of this donate part of the clothes to prisoners, and part of the funds which are gained through the reuse and the recycling of the materials which are collected is returned back to the city to support vulnerable citizens. Here you can see that in our city we have also a recycling and environmental education park where people can come and dispose metal, plastic, or glass items of packaging, earning rewards. I think it is €1 per each 33 packages recycled. And this is an initiative that is not coordinated by the city, by the municipality, but by the whole metropolis of Ioannina in collaboration with a private company, the Rewarding Packaging Recycling Company. And what I think it is worth mentioning is that one of their efforts in partnership with a charitable organization was a very big success, achieved the Guinness World Record for the most glass bottles recycled in 1 week, which somehow indicates that in the city we have, let's say, multiple actors which may offer an unparalleled contribution and which may mobilize dozens of volunteers. And of course, the municipality needs the contribution of these multiple actors in order to achieve the targets about separate collection and recycling as these are set in our plans. And the last one, to reduce by-waste, to promote composting, and to engage our citizens, we distribute free kitchen composting bins. We're now in the second phase of this action. And through this action, it is estimated that we'll be able to reduce greenhouse gases by 2,500 tons. And I suppose now that you have seen some of our actions and initiatives, you may wonder if all these actions and our efforts to raise awareness bring results. We have some numbers. We know that for the period of 2018 to 2021, the collection of mixed urban waste is constantly decreasing, while the collection of mixed recyclables through the blue bins is constantly increasing. However, an issue we yet have to face is the fact that in the blue bins, they also end up non-recycled materials. And of course, we know that we still have a lot to do in order to achieve our targets in the field of waste and circularity, and a lot of barriers to overcome. For example, there is no detailed record of the sources and the spatial distribution of each type of waste within the city, or there is no organized action for prevention of food waste. That's all for me. Thank you very much, and I hope we have the opportunity to discuss further during the Q&A.
Thank you so much, Christina. Great presentation. We're going to go on, but if you have questions, you can write them in the chat, and then we'll get back to them in the Q&A. The next speaker I have is Joao from Cascais. We're curious to hear from you what's happening in Cascais.
Thank you. I think you can see me and hear me well, I hope.
Yes, yes, we can see you,
so I'm
we can
just
hear
sharing
you,
my
we can see your
screen,
slides.
and we'll be sharing a bit of our innovation here. Well, what we're doing in circular economy and waste management. So first of all, welcome to Cascais. This is us. This is who we are. We are located in the outskirts of the Lisbon metropolitan region, and we are kind of stuck between the ocean and the mountain range, as you can see here. So it's a wonderful place to be, and of course, we need to take good care of it to the best of our abilities. When it comes to waste, we obviously manage all the waste collection here in Cascais, but we do have, the normal waste streams, household recyclables, and we're trying to add a little bit more of momentum and increase the recycling levels here in Cascais by providing innovative features that can be used by anyone, but also replicated by anyone. So this means that whatever we are doing, we're doing it within the normal procedures or legal requirements that we can do. That's important because obviously we need to test and then roll out to the entire population a system that helps everyone. All right. So first of all, how do we do this? Well, we have a smart waste management system. So what does it do? It's basically the digitalization of our operations. By doing this, obviously, we are using state-of-the-art technology, and we are more or less increasing our productivity, our efficiency, and reducing our carbon emissions. How are we doing this? So for example, the first of all that we're doing is that everything must be connected. It's kind of like the Internet of Things. Our bins have a filling sensors. We have a system where our operational teams goes to different locations and assess if there's an issue or not, so they can press a button, and then a person from the team will go there and assess if everything is okay or not and what needs to be done. And this is swiftly, daily, on the fly. This is obviously, like I said, managed through our operational team. So obviously our collection trucks have GPS localization. We know exactly where they are. We know the filling sensors of our bin, so we can optimize the routes daily. We still have to collect, obviously, household waste every day because of our climate. We just need to. But recyclable wastes, obviously, we try to optimize as much as we can. And for that, everything is connected, like I mentioned. So even our colleagues that work from the rear of the truck that collect the waste, if they see any issue out in the street, they just need to press the button in the back. And again, a person will go and check it out to see what's going on. So it's easy peasy and quite automatic and easy to go with. So obviously, these comply and they help us to increase our CRM values. So our customer relationship management is quite active. We have over 60,000 calls per year. We have 1,000 people that register some sort of issue on an app that we have to sort it out. And we engage directly with citizens in governance programs. So for example, we have over 1,200 citizens that directly come to us in meetings or sharing meetings on location with us to solve a given problem related to waste. So we reduced our CO2 emissions. We invested a lot of money into the digitalization, but it's just an investment. Obviously, it's something interesting for us. We have an immediate saving per year, so over €500,000 every year. This saving comes from diesel, from staff, from fixing problems that weren't fixed in due time. And while at the same time, we are increasing the customer satisfaction level. So for a city to have 93% from one year to another, it's obviously something very good. So nowadays, we have a lot more optimization. We have 19 routes for one unsorted waste and 10 routes for selective collection. Obviously, these vary, but to know that we need exactly 19 trucks to operate daily on a daily basis. It's something that is very useful for us in terms of equipment management. This isn't easy for anyone to manage. Just so a 900 team that does this work. So first example of what we're doing in terms of additional innovation is we're doing the bio-waste collection. So we started with the Waste for Think project that I will mention up next to it. The bio-waste collection is something new. What we're doing is we're giving away those small bags with small waste bins that people can put in their houses. We give 7-liter bags every month, so 22 bags per month. We give them at your mailbox or if you request them. And obviously, we are trying to make sure that this is easy to uptake by the citizens. It's not something that completely changes their daily routine. It's something that they can use the benefit from. We started with a small urban area in Carcavelos, but luckily now we had a rollout that goes to all the families and all the households. We started on a first stage with 30,000 families. Now we are going with 60,000 families already. So what you do with this bag is basically just put it in the household waste bin. We will collect it. And then at the sorting plant, the equipment will analyze the bag. They see the color and they see the type of bag and they will put it aside. And this is going to be producing fertilizer and all that like that. So then we have eco centers. What is that? Imagine a big kind container that goes along from each neighborhood to each neighborhood. And this container has different slots for different types of waste. For example, cork, electric equipment, oil, silverware, and other items, small items like that, that you can actually sort. But if you put in a general selective or household waste, it wouldn't be sorted anyway. So this is something that is useful. People are aware that they have a given day per week or day per month that they have it near their homes. So they collect their own waste and then they can put it in the eco center. So we are aiming to reduce the contamination of household waste and something that ends in the landfill that could be recycled. This is very interesting in terms of communication purposes because the bins are properly decorated, as you can see here, and it's quite, people have been accepting this solution. So something that is not innovative for a lot of you members of this wonderful workshop, but for us it was quite different because we are a southern or Mediterranean or Atlantic country. We don't have the deposit system for bottles like you have in Norway, Germany, and everything. And we're trying to test it out. So the government wants to make this a mandatory solution. It wanted to be in 2024, but because of COVID, it was delayed. But they entrusted us with, through an application, a project application, to start a project called IRAC, iRecycle, so Innovation and Recycling. What we're trying to do here is basically develop a system that is not a fully deposit system. Like you buy a shop, you buy a bottle at the shop, you pay a certain deposit fee, and then we give it back. We cannot do that, obviously, because it's not in the legal terms yet. So what we're doing is developing a system of tokens that you can use. So exactly what are we trying to do that is through gamification. So we have the bottles, we have the machines that you can deposit your bottles. We tested it out for 20 months and we engaged with all stakeholders. So producers, sellers, retailers, ourselves, citizens, everyone that has some sort of role here in this process. And through a gamification app that we have on our app, basically you would put the bottles in, you would get a ticket, you would read the ticket with your smartphone, and you would give in a small amount of points for every bottle you deposit. And then you can redeem it from different awards that sustain your sustainable behavior. For example, these reusable bottles that you can exchange. Basically, you are putting more single-use bottles to reusable bottles or something like that. For example, we had reusable razors, we had reusable napkins even. We had other awards, recycled sneakers, shoes. We had backpacks made from recycled materials, from PET, things that are made from plastic bottles. And it was a fairly easy process for everyone. So this was a non-stop work. You can see some of the bottles, some of the system, and we collected just in plastic a bit over 10 tons. And then if you add the glass, if you add the can, well, that was something significant. Another experimentation that we started, but it wasn't as successful as we would wish for because it was a nice test, but it started, let's say, a small silent revolution here in Cascais, is the Waste for Think that started many years ago. It was embracing a paid system, pay as you throw. Again, we had the legal requirements. We cannot pay and charge differently to people just because we want to. No, there's a legal framework and we cannot change our taxes just because. So what we've done basically is develop a system, again, with gamification that you use the same app. Now, every time you deposit your bin, you take a photo of the deposit, we analyze and make a calculation of the amount of waste that you've produced, and then we send what is called a shadow invoice. So this shadow invoice does help for people to understand that their waste, the waste they produce, actually has a value. Because one thing, waste is waste. It's something that is still there. This can be used for something else. It's waste of a process, in this case, your consumption. So you should have a price tag on it, and that's basically what we did here. You go to a bin, and this is the pilot area. Basically, you just go to a bin, you read the QR code, you place it, and then we have reading chips that we also analyze. So Not only do you get points, but we understand what bins did you use, how many bins have been used. We can optimize our collection route again. We understand if it's filled or not. We understand what's the proximity and how people behave by using these bins. So nearly 2,500 citizens participated in this for the duration of the project, and it worked quite well because the shadow invoice was something that finally alerted people. So we placed the bins, we communicated with citizens, we helped everyone to do this. So it worked really well. This is just a demonstration of the app that I will skip, otherwise you'll never, we will cut a bit of time just here. So I'll give you an example how this works. So if we cannot pay you, citizen, for the savings, what can we do? So we have, let's say, for example, because you recycled more, we had 70,000 euros of recycled savings, right? This is something that the neighborhood saved altogether. So we will give away half of it in gamification. So again, the same awards that I've mentioned, you can go to your app and you get more or less points according to your contribution. But then we will invest the other half in public equipment. So basically, we ask the citizens at the end of the project, this is what you achieved by recycling. This is the savings that you got. You got direct savings in your bank account, your gamification account. Now you're going to help out your neighborhood with equipment. What do you want now? And we had a workshop where we decided exactly what type of infrastructure that was developed. They wanted something tangible, but also intangible because they wanted more communication. They wanted more neighbors to be part of this. So that's obviously something good for us. So, of course, now we are going to do something different, which is the textile, and that's thanks to CLIMAWEBINAR. Basically, we want a new stream for recycling, right? Why do we want that? Because we need to reduce our carbon footprint. And if you look at all the previous projects that I've mentioned, besides not only the optimization, not only the paid system, not only the bottles, the eco centers, etc., what if you open a bin, a household bin out in the street, you will see the different the waste that is there. Sometimes you have a bit of plastic, sometimes you have a bit of glass, and even aluminum or some other materials that are recyclable. But that's not the norm anymore. The norm is that there are low levels of contamination on these bins, which is good. That means people are recycling. But then you look again at it and you say, okay, what else can we have here that should be recycled? And the biggest amount of contamination for household waste is the textile. Textile materials are the ones that could be drawn out and have its own streams. And so it's crucial for us to now do the next step on this. First of all, we have to understand that these textile waste streams do comply with the circular economy principles. We want to implement new bins just for these this stream, and we are happy to do so, and I think it's going to work well. We want to understand how the different stakeholders, from the producer to the seller of textiles, the secondhand shops, the recycling ones, and us, the collectors, how can we interact together and how can we make this beneficial for everyone? And we also want to understand, for the sake of transparency, which is very important for us, where do your textiles go? Do they actually go to secondhand shops? Do they actually go for recycling? Are they burned? What's going on here? So we need to understand and add transparency so people feel trust in the system, not just for textiles, but for everything else. And so this is something fairly new for us, and it's a learning process for everyone. And thanks to CLIMAWEBINAR, we will surely learn a bit more about this. Let me just add that when it comes to this textile waste stream, something that we are doing now is investing in it ourselves. This is how much we trust this project. So we are going to use part of the innovation to tackle down exactly where does your hello? Oh, sorry. Where does your textile go when it comes to its final destination? So we're going to keep track on this through RFID bags and through analysis by the sorting. So you'll know if it goes to a secondhand shop, if it goes to recycling, to who's recycling, and then we'll work on that. And then we will actually invest our own money in bins So we want to make sure, because the previous projects helped us to learn that, we're going to invest ourselves in more bins so we have more proximity to the citizen to make it easier. We're going to invest in a CRM management where citizens can request the bags directly, and then we can give it to you without added effort. All you have to do is go to an app, ask for the bags, we'll give you the apps, you'll read the bags, we know that they have been deposited, and then it's possible to do the tracking. And that's easy with nowadays technology, and it's something that we clearly need, is just to increase transparency. So these are just a few of the projects that we were doing. We look forward maybe in 1 year on the next workshop to show you the results of this pilot project, but we're very confident because we're hopefully we will start installing the bins in the next 2 months, and by the end of the year, surely we'll have a nice deployment. So thank you very much. Hope I didn't overtook too much time. Thank you.
No, thank you so much. Interesting. Indeed, the waste for think really made me think. I have one question from Brussels here. So you have a lot of pilot projects, and it seems like they're all successful, lots of citizen engagement, etc. And then you also mentioned that some of the pilot projects happen because you don't have the regulation yet, or because there are some constraints and you have to kind of find a way around it, which is, I mean, a smart way how to do it. But my question is, if the pilot projects have triggered any kind of policy changes or regulation changes, or do you even want that to be kind of like another result of them?
Yeah, so good question. We struggled with that. For example, in the Waste for Think, the paid pilot, we actually talked to the government directly and told them, this is more complicated than you think, because your regulation is very difficult for cities to implement, because we are responsible for this. So they want us to have an assessment of cost-benefit analysis and the return of investment for citizens. That means that we made the assessment in loco that says, this is our operational costs and this is how much we can charge, because we cannot overcharge. If our operational costs are, let's say, 1 million per year or 1 million per month, then the benefits or the tax charge that we give to citizens has to be exactly 1 million. And this is extremely difficult for us because it does vary a lot, right? And we would sometimes 1 ton of waste would cost the citizen 60 euros, and the other time it would cost 70 euros, because this is oscillating. This is something that we found out that we talked to the government and we asked them, we need more flexibility to manage this. And of course, they were given the flexibility, but in terms of operational costs, it was still very difficult. So once the pilot project was over, we kept doing it with the shadow invoicing, just to help citizens to understand their, let's say, waste footprint. That is something that we've done. When it came to IREC, it was something more, we gave them something. Because this project was entrusted to us to study how to implement a system like this, we made a lot of interesting reports when it comes to operational management and findings that we've learned that I don't think were considered. And this comes because people usually just try to replicate something that already exists. So let's say Germany and northern countries that already have this system, we have a wide set and range of stakeholders that are not used to this system. So we would need an introduction stage. And even the collection and the communication and how to clean the machines and how to analyze data and how to communicate with citizens, it's all very new for us. And the baseline for how to communicate with citizens is completely different. So we shared the findings of this report to many other people and many other citizens, and it worked out really well, because I think the government actually changed the way of its approach to the new system. It hasn't started yet because, like I said, COVID delayed everything, but I'm really hopeful that, we'll have a decision soon. Hopefully we'll start January 2025. So that's, we are in close contact, but it does show how pilot projects can, go national, and how small pilot projects can help to make decision-making changes.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I think it's very impressive, and I'm curious to see what happens next. And we'll have a chance to look at the Cascais again in our coming webinars. CLIMAWEBINAR is still ongoing for 2 more years, and hopefully at the end we can hear another success story. Thanks, Joao. Let's move on to Torino. Laura is here with us today. Laura, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm sharing my slides. Okay, hello everybody. I'm Laura Ribotta from the City of Torino. I work for the Innovation and European Funds Department. And today I will tell you a story about our food policies and sustainability. We have some project ongoing about the food policies, some politics decision in last years, and we are trying to put all together all those pieces of different experiment tests and policies that we have. And now I will try to tell you this story, this quite long story, and I hope it could be interesting. So first of all, where we are in the north of Italy, in the Piemonte region. And why I am just explaining this, because we are in this environment very rich about food, and here there are some data about our food production, in particular food production and transformation, our most important companies, and we are also the region where slow food born, the movement of slow food, and where Terra Madre international events happen each 2 years. So in this year, there will be Terra Madre in September. And so we are in a place where food is really, really important. And for that, we started this pathway, and I can share with you other data about our food system. And we have a lot of community vegetable gardens, and we have a high demand from our citizens of them. There are some vegetable gardens managed by association, and we have a second level association in which all those associations are participating together. And we have some vegetable gardens managed directly by the city. We have a lot of industries in the city that are transforming food. So from an economical and social point of view, food is really a topic in the city. But where our pathway started, sure, in this moment, when in the 2015, our mayor decided to sign the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact. Starting from here, we started a more comprehensive politics about the food. And first of all, what happened? In 2016, we added to the statute of the city this paragraph. So we want to promote the right and adequate food for everybody. So I can let you read everything, but this is the meaning. And so it's really important because the statute is the first rules of the city, is the first regulation of the city, most important for everybody. And in 2017, we decided to join and to create together with some universities, some public entities and so on, this food atlas, Atlante del Cibo in Italian, and it's a group of research because we thought that it's important to know all the food system of the city to understand where to go. And so this is the first step and they did a lot of studies, and for example, are available different food metric reports. The food metric reports is a document to understand the system with the data, with the maps. The maps I showed before were from here, and to decide together where to go. And so it's a tool, but it became also a way to talk between different type of stakeholders all around the food system. So for example, in the last year, Atlante del Cibo organized a monthly meeting, physical meetings, but also sometimes it is hybrid, so people can connect in remote. And every time there is a new topic about food, and people can discuss in different way and also in different location, because it is hosted by different stakeholders all around the city. So I think that with this Atlante del Cibo, we started really a food alliance all around the city, and a good dialogue to decide each stakeholder what can do for the system. And we have our European project that helped us in all this pathway, helped us to reach some achievement. And so, for example, about governance, we set up the interdepartmental group on food policy. And it was aimed to break silos inside the city. And we invited all the departments of the city, but also all the politicians that has something to do with food, to discuss together, to share our project, our things, what we are doing, and to think what to do more together. And in another part of the project, we demonstrated in the city a business model based on the food and the circular economy in 2 different restaurants with the help of the University of Gastronomic Science of Pollenzo. With another project for SME, so small and medium enterprises, we decided to work with enterprises together to reach a local Green Deal, and we signed it last year, and discuss what we can do and what they can do and what we can do together. And you can find everything on this document. It's available. There is the link on the presentation, and together between the Fusilli project and Smefru Green project, the city decided to launch a call for incentives for SME, but also for NGOs all around the city that want to act in a circular way about food. And now we have 7 experimentation that are going on since January to December. And next week, we will have a first demonstration about what they are doing. And because of this internal group of work and exchange of ideas and so on, we brought together a food policy guidelines, and we presented it to our city council, and they decided to approve it, and now it's available from January. And there is the link, you can go through it. Sorry, it's in Italian, but we can improve also on it, but for now it's in Italian. It's for our stakeholders. Another things that is happening all around us in the food system is that there is this Punto al Cibo, that is a general assembly of all NGOs all around the city that are working on food. And this is an action promoted by Food Atlas, so Atlante del Cibo. So this group of research, they decided to call everybody in NGOs that are working on it, and they decided to put them in the same table to work together, to think together. So it's a similar pathway like we did in the city offices. The Food Atlas is doing with NGOs all together. And the interesting thing is that Food Atlas, so Atlante del Cibo, is in the middle of this dialogue, this exchange of ideas and objectives and so on. And we can dialogue between these different organizations, so the City of Torino inside their office and so on, but also this Punto al Cibo with all the NGOs, but also enterprises, industries, and so on. But also there is an association that would promote Torino like World Food Capital. And I think really that Atlante del Cibo is the key for the dialogue and for the exchange. And this is where we are at the moment.
Thank you so much, Laura. Do we have any questions for Laura at the moment? We have a lot in the chat. Okay, we'll see. We are running a bit out of time, but I think we have a question. We have time for 1 or 2 questions. So anyone who wrote the question in the chat, maybe if you want to speak up and ask the question directly to either Laura, Joao, or Christina. I see that most of the questions have been responded in the chat. You have been active in the meantime.
Hi, Ioannina. This is Ilya from Athens.
Hi.
Actually, I have sent a couple of questions. Christina has already replied to me. My question for Cascais was mainly regarding the funds and how all the smart waste management system is, let's say, ensure that it is sustainable in terms of funding and resources. If it is something that it is already established and fixed in by the city council financial resources, or there are recurrent funds that they can, because we saw in the presentation that the savings are more or less spent back to the gamification and to other equipment. So this smart waste management system is self-funded, or it is something already fixed within the city?
Yeah, it's a mix between self-funding and additional funding. So when we are investing in optimization of services, it's because we see a benefit out of that. We invested in better trucks, more efficient trucks. We have one electric truck, an electric fleet, so we can understand the return of investment really easily. When it comes to more innovative or testing stage solutions, we usually recur to funding. So for example, in the CLIMAWEBINAR project, we expect the funding from the CLIMAWEBINAR to help us to design the system of the textile collection. Once we have the management system, the IT integration and everything, we can implement it. But we need to do so on a scale that we know it would work for us. And so we are investing now our own money in our own bins and our own collection system to make sure that we have the best solution possible, because we see it's easier this way, I would say. It's a safe investment, I would say.
Yes, okay. Yes, it's clear, thanks. It's also for Athens that we come from here, funding is a complex system. That's why it was where my question came from. Thanks so much.
Okay, thanks. If there are no more questions, let me check. Then let's move on with the next presentation. All right, I'll give the floor to Sofia. I'm not sure who's presenting. I think it's Katia.
Hi, it will be my first, just to share the screen. Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Andriana Lazarova, and I'm an expert in Waste Management Directorate of Sofia Municipality. First, I will present you the current waste management system of Sofia, and then my colleague Katia. Volkova will inform you about our future plans for upgrading the system. Just a short reminder, Sofia Municipality is a capital of Bulgaria. It's separated in 24 districts, including 4 towns, 34 villages, and according to the official statistic data for 2023, the total population is just under 1.3 million inhabitants. According to the national legislation, the municipal mayor is responsible for the collection from households of the waste streams showed on the slide. As I will focus on mixed municipal waste, food and green waste, bulky waste, packaging, hazardous textile, electrical and electronic equipment. Let me start by looking at the mixed waste collection. Currently, it is treating in mechanical biological treatment plant, which has been in operation since 2015, with capacity for waste treatment of 410,000 tons per year, and with capacity for recycling materials around 9%. In 2023, this plant treated around 322,000 tons of waste. On this slide, you can see the current process of mixed waste management key stages. At the end, the produced RDF from the plant is recovered in a salmon plants. As for the biological waste of Sofia, we have a treatment plant with 2 technological lines. The first one is for treatment of green waste with capacity, a maximum capacity of 24 tons per year, and the second one is for food waste treatment with maximum capacity of 20,000 tons per year. The achieved results of the plant in 2023 are just over 7,000 treated food waste and produced electricity approximately 1,100 megawatt hours. Around 11,000 tons treated green waste, from which was produced around 6,000 high quality compost that we use it for municipal gardens and parks, as well as sales to the public. Additionally, those people that are paying their food taxes can receive 10 kilos compost for free. The both plants are actually operated by municipal enterprise. The system of collection of bulky waste is organized for each district through a schedule that is public on our website. The facility for pre-treatment of bulky waste has 2 basic models, a separation station and a drum sieve and shredder. The challenge we are facing about the stream is changing the mindset of citizens and make them more socially responsible. The systems for separate collection of packaging and textile waste are working well, which has been helped by an increase in the number of containers, which on other side increase the quality of separated waste. As for electrical and electronic equipment, the system processes to collect it from home after phone request from citizens. For this waste, we see a positive tendency too, as in fact almost double the quantity of separately collected waste for the last 2 years. About the hazardous waste, the system is well known by citizens. We provide two options for collection. The first one is from home by phone request, and the second is by mobile station. The station is placed on different districts of Sofia every week. The waste treatment is consistent with the type and the quantity of collected waste, as well as with the waste treatment hierarchy. In 2023, we separately collected 11 tons, and we think we are going actually on the right direction. And that's for me. Now let me hand over to my colleague Katia.
Hello, Ioannina. Now I will share with you our future plans for separate collection, which is actually the key for waste management in sustainable way, as well as for the implementation and development of the circular economy concept. By defining appropriate incentives and a system of centers containers for separate collection and households, homogeneous materials flows to be used for reuse and recycling will be achieved. For the successful construction of a system for separate collection of waste, four factors are essential for us: economic incentives, regulations, of course, system customization, and communication with the citizens. In addition, the introduction of separate collection of bio-waste on the territory of Sofia Municipality will prevent the contamination of recyclable materials, and by introducing separate collection of different waste flows, efficiency is also achieved in the system for collection of mixed household waste in terms of the cost of its services. In that regard, we are planning to construct the sites for and to establish centers for separate collection of hazardous waste. Since May 2022, a procedure has been launched to expand the system for separate collection by building centers and sites for free delivery of separately collected waste from households. Nearly 40 places have been determined for the placement of separate collection centers, and 8 places for the construction of sites for delivery of waste. The centers will provide separate collection of at least the following waste flows: paper and cardboard, plastic, glass materials, small electric and electronic equipment, including cables, batteries, accumulators, hazardous household waste, including expired medicines, compressed gas vials, donor cartridges, etc. The first few centers will start to operate in this summer. Regarding the sites, 3 terrains were identified on the territory of Sofia Municipality for the construction of sites, where the following types of waste can be delivered: all types of bulky waste, sofas, furniture, mattresses, waste from small home repairs, construction waste from households, including materials from insulation, glass, especially from doors and windows, joinery, metal, etc., etc., and car tires, hazardous household waste, garden green waste like branches, grass, and leaves. We are making our efforts to improve waste management on the territory of Sofia Municipality by implementing a pilot project for 3 municipal schemes for separate waste collection and recycling. We know that every year in Sofia are generated nearly 75,000 tons of food waste, which is almost 13% of all generated waste. Despite the existence since 2014 of a modern installation Hamburg Grove for production of electricity and compost from food waste. It still works at its half capacity, and only a small part of Sofia's food waste goes there. From some of the markets, restaurants, kindergartens, and schools, food waste from households is still disposed of mixed waste. Proper disposals of end-of-life tires is a safe prevention against unauthorized disposal and subsequent incineration for heating, which releases toxic compounds that do not decompose quickly and easily transported over long distance and cause damage to nature and people. End-of-life tires next to or in waste containers in green areas and in unregulated places pollute the environment, and a lot of public resources are spent on cleaning and transporting them to the proper places. The main goal of this project proposal is development of 3 schemes for separate collection and recovery of food waste and end-of-life tires. The following activities are planned, aimed at the target groups, municipal administration, and the general public, identification of specific consumption patterns and trends in waste generation, transfer of good practices from Norway because the project is funded by Norway grants, and implementation. And with its implementation, it is expected to be developed an integrated information system for separate collection and recycling of up to 90% of food waste in 3 districts of Sofia Municipality. The project envisages also a development of a system for separate collection of end-of-life tires, which will further increase the share of recycled tire waste on the territory of Sofia Municipality to up to 40%. The specific objectives of the project are identification of specific patterns of consumption and trends in the generation of waste and measures to implement a sustainable models for transition of Sofia Municipality to circular economy, creation and implementation of 3 schemes for collection and recycling of waste on the territory of Sofia Municipality, and of course the very important thing, to raise awareness of the local community in relation to separate collection and recycling of different flows of waste streams. Other thing that we are planning to implement on the territory of Sofia Municipality is to design and construct the installation for processing and utilization of construction and bulky waste. The waste to be treated at the future bulky waste treatment will be the furniture sustainable for reuse, furniture from wood, solid wood furniture, article board, furniture board, cabinet parts, cabinets, etc. Mattresses, wood like plywood, wooden slats, wooden burns, parquet, and other types of wooden flooring. Sanitation, toilet, cistern, sinks, toilet, etc. Textile, leather textile especially, and carpets, curtains, carpets, and automotive parts, parts from vehicles. Because the current waste collection system does not currently allow the waste to be separated from the bulky waste and defined as the amount of waste from small repair activities from households, as they are very often collected and transported together with the bulky waste. That is the main reason that we foreseen to build a new technologically and technically secure bulky waste treatment installation with a module for treatment of construction waste from small repairs and building module for the preparation of recyclable materials for reuse, and the capacity planned for this installation is about 9,100 tons per year, and it will be located with a good access from main roads, but away from Sofia downtown, with an approximate area of over 20,000 square meters. One of our initiatives that we are currently implemented and plan to expand till the end of this year is born within the project simulating citizen participations in the project in the process of recycling, which were funded by the EU's Balkan Mediterranean Operational Program. And during this project, a comprehensive organization was implemented for separate collection of packaging waste, plastic, paper, metal, and glass, as well as food waste for 300 households in one of the districts of Sofia municipality, as this district is a representative sample for a significant part of the residential areas in the city. 300 households participated in the initiatives under the project, and with funds from the project, a set of containers for home use for separate collection of packaging waste were provided for these 300 households. Also, with funds from the project in the interblock space of participating 5 buildings, so-called green islands enclosures were built with entry control permitted only for the families involved in the project through a key lock. In the outside Green Island were located 2 containers with a volume of 1,100 liters for collection of plastic, paper, and metal. Also, 1 container with volume of 1,100 liters for glass collection. 2 brown containers with a volume of 204 liters, where the participating households dispose daily their food waste separately from other waste, and as well as the container of 1,100 liters for collecting the residual fraction of mixed household waste, which would not dispose into the other containers in the Green Island. The result shows very high motivation and satisfaction of citizens in the district, and that's why in 2021 Sofia municipality provided own funds for the expansion of the pilot initiatives for separate waste collection in 3 other districts of our city. At present, about 35 Green Island for 2,100 households are in operation, and as I told you at the beginning of this slide, we foresee to expand the system with another 39 Green Island during the next 20 months. And at last but not also important, we have a waste management information system which has been established in operation and operates since May 2015, and the information on municipal waste management is collected and processed in it. The system serves and supports municipal administration daily work and allows us to make comprehensive standardization and automation of the activities, sites, and registers related to waste management on the territory of Sofia municipality. Together with these information systems, we have a website on which the citizens can get information about the location of the containers for waste and separate collection of waste on the territory of Sofia municipality. Under what condition can be disposed the different types of waste streams, together with any other information which could be useful for the citizens. And That's for us. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, both of you. A lot of things happening in Sofia. I noted some things. So you're talking mostly about reusing different kind of materials or reducing the amount of mixed waste and separating. But one of the kind of pillars of circularity is also reducing consumption and waste as such. Do you have any? And typically we hear about some sort of campaigns from the cities. Do you also work with that to encourage people to consume less and in general have less waste?
Can you hear us?
Yes, yes, there was a bit of a noise, but now we can hear you.
Okay. For each waste stream for separate collection, Sofia has organized its system based on contracts where obligations are implemented for regular information campaigns for citizens. Um, Actually, we are proud for the last year, the municipality organized massive campaigns in universities, schools, and kindergartens. For example, for the universities, we established so-called again green islands with the containers for a separate collection of waste, a composter, and a raised bed with planted herbs, vegetables, and strawberries. For the schools and kindergartens, we distributed around 1,000 beans for 175 schools and around 200 kindergartens. Actually, we are facing some challenges for initiatives and campaigns. So to uh, to get implement the citizens of Sofia, and it's a lot of measures actually we foresee in the next few years.
Okay, thank you so much.
And the most challenging for us is how to manage the quantities, which quantities we are collecting. This is the main challenge between the main challenge in front of Sofia municipalities, how to measure the quantities of separated waste.
You're not alone in this challenge. I'm sure our CLIMAWEBINAR city is dealing with the circularity and waste topics are saying the same thing. Let's move on to the last presentation, and then we'll have a bit of time for the Q&A. I have Guimaraes here from Portugal. Tell us what is happening in your local context.
Thank you, Ioannina. Thank you, everybody. I'm Guimaraes of the sunny city of Guimaraes, not so sunny as Cascais, but is also sunny. And I would like to thank, first of all, to Energy Cities for this, and to CLIMAWEBINAR and to Cascais City too, of this kindly invitation. We belong to Energy Cities since 2007. So we like to be part of this kind of knowledge and training and also networking. I'm going to share my screen. I think you are seeing. Yes. Our strategy for circular economy in Guimarães is called reciclo. It's air, like reuse, recycle, all the R's that we have in our strategy. And I don't know. I would like to say that I am the director of the Environmental and Sustainability Department of the municipality, and I'm also the responsible of the city strategy for circular economy and local coordinator for European Mission 100 Cities towards climate neutrality. And this work is always made with our climate transition team.
Dalila, if I could just quickly ask you if you could put the slides in
Yes, here. Sorry.
Thank you.
As you know, Guimarães is a city located in the north of Portugal, known as the birthday of Portugal, and have 160,000 inhabitants, has 48 parishes, and is the 80th most sporting municipality of the country. And we are always do our strategy supports by citizens. Guimarães has been acknowledged for excellence in many ways. In the next slides, I will explain to you how is our Guimarães journey towards climate neutrality, highlighting our governance ecosystem, the main actors of our climate policy and monitoring process. The Landscape Laboratory as an institution created by the municipality together with 2 universities to promote evidence-based decision-making through research and development and citizens' mobilization and engagement. And our main goal under 100 missions is being climate neutral by 2030. We have also been awarded by our mission label. In 2001, we were Historic Center became UNESCO World Heritage, and in 2012 we were Capital of Culture, 2030 City of Sports, and in 2014 our mayor, Domingos Bragança, puts and decide to include environmental themes in our political agenda. In 2014, we created also the Landscape Laboratory that makes this year 10 years, and that promotes research, innovation, and citizens' mobilization. In 2015, we started our launch for circular economy with the GFORCE, Guimarães for Circular Economy program, and also our environmental program, Pegadas, that results of 10 multidisciplinary teams and address the environmental indicators plus governance, leadership, education, awareness, communication, dissemination, networking, and finance. And it includes strategies, actions, and projects to improve each of the environmental indicators and to create new dynamics to engage, mobilize, and educate citizens towards sustainable development in all our schools. We have 88 schools in our municipality. In 2016, we created the pay-as-you-through system that in 2016 impact 800 inhabitants, and now we have 12,000 inhabitants with this pay-as-you-through system. Our governance ecosystem is in force since 2013, but it was most closely in 2018, and with this, our climate journey became more fair, more systemic, more comprehensive, swift, and smart. In 2020, we were the first cities to sign the Circular Cities Declaration. And in 2021, we created this recycle strategy for circular economy that I'm going to talk to you today. In 2022, we were chosen with Lisbon and Oporto in Portugal to be 100 missions. We are also chosen as a pilot in Circular Cities Regions initiative, and we are developing our strategy for zero waste with the mission Zero Waste Strategy Europe. Let me say to you, in between 2022 and 23, we were chosen CTA's list, and our recycle strategy was a best practice in mitigation by the CDP. In 2023, we were chosen to be pilot in the 100 missions, and we were shortlisted in the European Green Capital. And this year it was very good. We are very proud because we have the mission level. It was very hard to have this mission level. And we are candidacy, we deliver our candidacy to our European Green Capital 2026 last April. All of this is to be climate neutral in 2030, and we create this new branding, Guimarães 2030, join the green transition to become more engaged and to have more stakeholders. Let me, as I was saying before, do our governance ecosystem enforced since 2030, our climate becomes more fair. Over the last 8 years, we were able to integrate top-down and bottom-up approach into multi-scale cross-sectoral framework, bringing together academy, business, non-profit association, government, policymakers, and citizens. We have built a resilience process and created a team able to solve short and long-term challenges. Our climate policy is implemented by an integrated management system, including a multidisciplinary interdepartmental team that we call the Climate Transition Team. And we have built a resilient process to solve unexpected and short and long-term challenges. This framework is responsible for defining strategic plans, monitoring and reporting, studying environmental impacts and citizens' perceptions. We are aware that we can only measure what we measure. So we are developing this big ecosystem with all these commitments, and we sign Energy Cities. We are under Covenant of Myers, Green City Accords, Euro Cities, Bioplastic, Clay, Circular Cities, Regions, Mission Zero Academy, because we have to know what these institutions have to say about Guimarães and all about our strategies. Our municipal waste management strategy was developed since 2000, but now we have a new 2024 municipal waste management strategy that prevents food waste, moving to green economy. We want to establish our production of waste management. We want to increase our pay-as-you-through system areas. Since 2024, we implemented the Save as You Recycle tool in the bio-waste system. We are at optimized operations. We want to reduce our landfill waste, recycling so many food waste that we can do it, increase reuse and separate waste collections to reduce emissions, to promote circular economy. And we are developing also in preventing food waste. We are offering free decomposable food box for restaurants. We are developing ReFood to social affairs, and we are training new recipes using leftover food. So we are making chefs like Michelin star that makes new recipes reusing leftover food. Our waste management strategy is developed by a zero waste plan, bio-waste plan, CCRA roadmap for circular economy and bioeconomy, and CCRI helped us to prioritize our systemic solutions. This is our recycle strategy for circular economy. We have a networking, Let's Go Circular, Eurocities, HOOP, Urban, Bioplastics Europe. We have these commitments that I've said to you before, and we created a focus group that help us implementing the projects and our commitments. They are helping us daily, day by day. Citizens are the main factor to transform this circular economy and also our engagement with the private sector. Under Unhandling Missions, we created a climate pact, Guimarães 2030, joined the green transitions, and we have built a strong ecosystems with this private sector. So under this private sector, we are also making the textile waste, we are redesigning and remanufacturing damaged clothes We are making candles to waste to soup. We are making new furniture made with plastic wastes. We are making eco bricks with cigarette butts. We are remastering with fiber and textile wastes new products. We have developed our second-hand markets. We have a strategy for rehabilitation programs to make circular our waste, construction demolition waste. And we are developing also the lead swap projects to swap all the books, food books, clothes, and we also are developing a second-hand clothes app to the. All of this is to extend our product life through circular businesses. To our food waste, what we are doing in our food waste. We collect our food waste in a door-to-door system in all households under eco channel with the pay-as-you-throw system and with trucks that say all of this is food waste. That we can see here, organic, it's like all of this is food waste. Our target is to recover 73% by 2030. The food waste is valorized into a fertilizer that closes the loop in our territory, and we use them in our community gardens. Our food waste is developing a compost and a fertilizer, a certified fertilizer that we use in our community gardens. Education for sustainability is improved by Landscape Laboratory. The pictures that you see are students learning how to compost, because we cannot achieve if you don't mobilize. So we have to build with the children a strong commitment for their family too. To promote engagement, we offer, we have a strong communication. We offer to the people who works in the kitchens, in the restaurants, in the schools, in the markets, and we have a big green heart that you can see here, that we offer to those who recycle the food waste. But we also have a yellow card for those we don't promote good behaviors, and we have a red card for those we mix everything, and that's we put in the post in the citizens, and we put in the doors in the Oreca channel. And let's see if the reds, we are developing a monitoring what reds become green. We also collect green waste at households on demand, and we valorize it to wood to eating schools and to shards to put it in the public gardens. Let me say to you that we started this in only public gardens to put the shards that you see here in all public gardens, but now we have a lot of it. So we offer to the farmers in our municipality, and it was very good because farmers are using now these shards made by circular economy from our gardens. In 2019, Guimarães decided to sign the strategy for public free plastic, municipality free of plastic. We are not a municipality free of plastic, but we are developing new strategies to be strong in ways that we are free of plastic. So we use biocompostable bags in our public markets that says reuse me in our food waste. So we offer the biocompostable bags that the people can use in their homes to put the food waste. And it's a good campaign that promotes market and recycling. And we offer also tote bags made by textile waste that promotes our fresh market and our public fresh market and our local farmers too. And we are a free plastic market. As I told you before, we are valorizing cigarette butts to make ecological bricks and chewing gums that we are transforming an ecological waste that you can see here. Now this e-brick, this ecological brick, are being replicable in the industrial sector context. They are making industrial bricks with this industrial e-brick that we call e-tijolo, that are made from the cigarette butts. And to finish, we also valorize and we are building repair and circular places. We have lots of kiosks placed in the municipal places that we are transforming it to repair and circular kiosks to develop new jobs for those who don't have anything to do, and we offer the places to repair and to reduce and to reuse waste. As Guimarães have a strong textile waste industry. We are on the 3-4 cities in Portugal that have more industrial sector and textile waste. So we have to valorize this textile waste. The textile waste, like clothes, we are collecting it in our schools, in our 88 schools. And we make new products that, as I told you, that like bags to shopping market and blankets that the municipality offers to coffee terraces in our historic center. But we also offer these new products to the students that are making recycling their clothes. And in Urbact, Let's Go Circular, we have new products between the industrial sector. We are developing the circular economy in the industrial sector, like fibers that are a waste for one industry. Now it's a resource for the other industry, and we are making small projects that we can scale them to big projects that a waste of the industrial symbiosis, that the waste from one industry is a resource to another. So these are some numbers of this strategy. We reduce more than 150,000 plastic bags and 30,000 plastic cups. We recover 60 tons of food to eating schools per year. We prevent 60 tons of food waste per year. In 2022, we recovered 31% of food waste. That in 2023, we have recovered 36% of food waste. And we make more than 5,000 second-hand markets per year. We recycled more than 20 tons of clothes, and we valorized 10,000 cigarette butts. Cascais, as NGO that collects the cigarette butts from the beaches in Cascais, and then they deliver to us. We can build this strategy, circular economy, and we are valorizing this kind of cigarette butts. Finally, this is being a huge strategy. It's a great ambition. We are integrating the city missions. It was incredible. This anticipation of neutrality by 2030, as we are accelerating our transition, we are launching the monitoring and defining the 2030 investments and also our climate contract. To transform this and also in waste and circular economy, we would like to reduce unsorted waste to 120 kilos per person in 2030, and we would like to collect 75% of our packaging waste with our pay-as-you-throw system, because in the places that we have the pay-as-you-throw system, we reduce a lot of mixed waste, we improve our bio-waste waste, and we improved a lot of our packaging waste recycling system. So this is Guimarães, and more than be climate neutral in 2030, that is a big, huge challenge. We want to be only one planet city in 2050. Now we use 2.5 planet cities. Our municipality, we do our footprint. Our footprint is to Earth and a half, to planet cities and a half, and we want to achieve to be one planet city in 2050. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dalila. I have a question for you and also for the other speakers. Maybe this will be interesting for the CLIMAWEBINAR cities especially. So in CLIMAWEBINAR, we spent quite some time trying to figure out the KPIs of how to measure the impacts of the solutions that we're going to deploy. And of course, there are the obvious ones, the reduction of mixed waste in a certain amount of kilograms and increase in kilograms of sorted waste. But is there anything else that you are measuring for your action plans and for your communication with the citizens? I noticed on your slide you said community actions. So you're measuring, maybe you can talk about that a bit more. What exactly do you mean and how do you measure that?
Thank you, Ioannina. We measure all the actions that we made with the citizens, and we also measure, we are making in the schools. Let me tell you, we have a project in the schools that we measure before the project begins, the food waste in the canteens. And then we started to tell and to make the engagement of the school and the citizens, and also the cookers of the canteens, because they have to be part of it too, because when they are cooking, they have to be on it, not only the users, but also the cooking people. And after 3 months, 4 months, we are monitoring the project, and then we calculate how prevent, and we started to prevent 10% of food waste, because they are eating our the waste every day. We were eating the waste, so we see when it is being increased. And also we are making a study of perception of the people. We made with the ONU University, because here in Guimarães we have the ONU University, and they make a study of perception of the people, and to know what are the perception of the people of our environmental system, of our management strategy, our waste management strategy. Is they understand, they don't understand, they are committed, they don't, why they aren't committed, how can we develop new strategies for committed them, how they can be involved. And this study we make 3 years, and we are seeing the increase of this study and increase of the literacy of the people, and how engaged they are now, and they were in 2030, because it's very different. In 2030, we don't have this ecosystem governance, we don't have the private sector, the academia, the citizens, the schools, everyone together. And together we are building KPIs to measure how everything. We do an event, we calculate the footprint of that event, and we communicate, okay? This event prevents, have spent one planet, because we have to say what the people understand. We don't use, okay, we are improving 85% of GH, they don't understand. They understand simple words, okay? This event shows that if all days we do these events, we work 10 planets. So we have to reduce this. We have to be simple. We have to be attractive in the communication. And we have to build the cities. We say that we build the city, we build this strategy with the citizens, not for them, but with them.
Thank you so much. Do we have any other questions? We have a bit of time left.
I would have one question, is
Go
while
ahead.
everyone else gathers their thoughts. So thank you, Dalila, so much. I think your presentation also touched upon some of the issues that have been coming up for us throughout the project, but also today in the discussion. So how governance, technical and technological issues and social or behavioral aspects come into play in terms of circularity. And specifically, I think one of the components might be especially interesting for everyone in that regard in the project. So Torino, Cascais, and Maribor are currently working on pilots that have to do with circularity of textile waste. So you talked briefly about textile waste in your presentation, and I was wondering if you could expand a bit on how those three components or maybe others are most challenging, or where you found most success in terms of governance or technological issues, social, behavioral ones for textile waste.
Thank you, Sebastian. We decided to go on this textile waste because we made a study of our mixed waste, and 7% of our mixed waste was textile waste. It was incredible. We say, okay, if the people and the industry are sorting off their textile waste, the fibers, it's because they don't have a way to go and a way to recycle this. So we say, okay, first of all, we've made this scientific article to know where is the textile waste in our mixed waste in our municipality. Which part of this municipality that we are collecting more textile waste. And then we see that it was in the north part of the municipality, and we went there, okay? Our teams went there and talked with the small industries, because this textile waste is not from the big industries. The big industries have their own circular economy, their own recycling, sustainable development strategies. It's the small industries that we have a lot of it. And the small industries work for the big industries. But the small industries don't have the knowledge, the science, the knowing to what they can do with the textile waste. So we went there. Okay, we went there and say, what is your problem? Why are you putting your textile waste in your mixed waste? Because I don't know how to do it. Okay, so we made now a textile waste route with a pay-as-you-through system. Okay, they pay what they are delivering. And if that kind of waste don't have anything to do, okay, we collect and we put it in the landfill. But now 95% of this textile waste that we collect in these industries, the fibers, are going to Min University, to the center waste valorization that we have in the Min University, that have a lots of industries working with them. So it passes on this waste center of valorization. We collect the textile waste, it passes for this center waste valorization, and then we deliver to these industries that can, with the fibers, they make new products. They need these fibers. And we started to talk with these big industries, the small industries, and we started to increase this connection, this industrial symbiosis between the small industries with the big industries. And we say, okay, you can build a strong circular economy together. Your waste can be a resource for this. Okay? This is for textile waste being from the industries. From the textile waste, from our clothes, it's incredible. We have lots of containers in the streets, and we have lots of textile waste. But we don't want the textile waste. We want the second-hand markets. We want to swap the clothes. We don't want to have them in the containers. So we're starting this project in the schools to say, okay, only throw out what can not be, what is not good for anyone. If it's good for anyone, please don't throw it away, be in the second-hand market. And these kiosks that we are making manufacturing these clothes that are not good, but with a little manufacturing, they are a new product. They are a new t-shirt, and we are making all of this. And the people wants money with this remanufacturing. There are old people doing this, okay? People that work in the industries when they have 50 years, 60 years, and now they have more than 65 years, and they are making this remanufacturing in the kiosks in the public spaces. This is what we are doing now, and we are making and monitoring this all, and we want to decrease our textile waste and to improve our circular economy. And now we have lots of good reasons to go on.
Thank you. Thanks so much. I think there's a lot of interesting content there and inspiration, I think, as well for our cities, all the way from the diagnostic or finding out where the waste was, what the percentage was, and so on, all the way to the different connections you established between different actors. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dalila. Thank you all speakers. Actually, we are running a bit out of time, but just to close, I want to share what's happening next. Let's see if I can quickly share my screen. Can you see the slide I have?
Yes.
Okay, great. So this was our third CLIMAWEBINAR webinar, and the next event that we have is taking place in person, actually during the Energy Cities annual forum in Valencia in June. And Energy Cities annual forum is happening during the Valencia Climate Week. So that's the end of June, 26th, 27th of June. We would love for all of you to be able to join us. We are going to continue the topic of circularity and linking it together with sufficiency. So what I mentioned before, really thinking about prevention and reduction before we even get to the part of recycling and reducing and reusing. We're going to have a few of the CLIMAWEBINAR cities presenting in this session during the forum, but we also have some external experts confirmed, for example, from ACR Plus, which is an organization similar to Energy Cities, but specifically focusing on circularity and waste management topics. And if you're thinking that this is all great, but you don't have the resources to come to Valencia, then I also have an opportunity for you. through Scalable Cities peer-to-peer program, which is another of my projects, there's an opportunity for us to fund 5 cities to come to Valencia, join the event, and visit the city, meet the city, and even go on some site visits through this peer-to-peer program. So we will be funding 5 cities to come and join the event. And there's a link if you want to apply. If I'm not mistaken, the funding is more or less €1,000 per person to cover your trip. So that would be your flights, your accommodation, and there's even daily allowance for meals. So yes, if this is something interesting for you, definitely apply, and I would be happy to meet some of you in Valencia. We will have some other webinars coming up in the next part of the year. Nothing is set in stone yet, but we will communicate about it to all. And I think we can close the day today, unless you have any questions.
Elena, I don't have a question, but I would like to add just one thing to what
Yes,
just
go ahead.
I mean, thanks first of all to all of you and you, Elena, in particular. Just wanted to repeat what I already said in the beginning, if you want, also because this reconnects a bit with the webinars that will come probably after summer. That tomorrow we have this, we have the call for tender that will select 2 solution providers per leader city. Then we will be around 15 probably, and they will be disclosed tomorrow in a public session, and anyone can participate. It will happen at 10:30 in the morning. Then if you can participate, we will be very happy to have you also, because you will probably get some idea of what we may talk later on, because those will be very city activities and very related to what we're discussing here.
Great, thank you, Matteo. All right, thank you all. Thank you to the speakers, and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.